People believe misfortune will come upon them by going to this temple. You know, it's common knowledge, people think you will come to misfortune if you go to Thanjavur temple. Which is not wholly correct, but partially correct, because it's a kind of a distorted energy form. It did not find completion. There are incredible things that one can do within himself, which can easily keep a human being busy for a lifetime. And if you do such incredible things, at least you will not have the problem of planning one more lifetime. Because if you do such incredible things, then existence will see that you have to cease. You're too much. The ancient temples in India, if you're really talking about ancient temples, yes, the temples were built to a certain science called agama. You heard of agama? There are 5 basic parameters with which the temple was built. If the temple is built according to that, the size and shape of the temple, the size and shape of the parikrama, the size and shape of the garbhagriha or the sanctum, the size and shape of the idol, the mudra that the idol holds, the mantras that are used to consecrate this, if all these things are properly matched, it will create a tremendous field of energy. You need to understand, Indian temple is not a place of prayer. There is nobody leading a prayer in the Indian temple. The Hindu temples, there is nobody to lead your prayer. You go there and do what you want. Nobody telling you must sit down and pray and do this or that. Though now you started the request sheet, paying 5 rupees and telling God what he should do, you started that recently. Otherwise, your culture told you if you go to the temple, they did not even tell you must pray, but they told you must sit there for some time. Is that so? Still exists in South India, in North it is gone. In South India, still families are aware that if you go to the temple, you must sit there for a while. Now you just touch your bottom and go away. Touch your bottom to the floor and go away, or you sit there and discuss your neighbor or the cinema or something else. The idea was, if there is a strong field of energy, you simply sit there quietly and imbibe this. So the culture told you, first thing in the morning, you have a shower, go sit in the temple, then go out and do your business. Because once you step into the world, whatever kind of transaction you do, my profit is your loss is my profit, this is how it is, isn't it? Yes? Every transaction is like this, isn't it so? So when you transact like this, you tend to get worked up. Because somewhere you're losing, somewhere you're gaining, one day your losses may be more than the gains. It is not just in terms of money. In every relationship, transaction also, there is loss and gain, isn't it so? Yes? So you could get worked up. So morning, you go and imbibe this and go into the world so that you pass through the world smoothly. At the same time, it was also said, people on the spiritual path need not go to the temple. Nowhere else in the world such wisdom exists. Do you know this? People on the spiritual path need not go to the temple. The Indian temple does not look forward to people on the spiritual path because they have their own self-charging methods. This is a public charging place. Public battery charging place is what a temple is. Now you invented your own self-charging method, no need to go to the public place. You are from Tirupur? No. So if you live in Tirupur, you have to go to the public tap to get your water. Now you got your own tap in the house. Now you're not going to go and stand in the queue there, isn't it? That's all the difference is. That's a very wise way of conducting things. But now you're building the temples just the way you build your shopping complexes, probably for the same purpose. That's a different game altogether. About the lingas in the temple, Just some time ago, usually I don't go to the temples unless they're of architectural importance. I never go to the temple because I have nothing to seek in a temple. I got self-charging systems. There is nothing the temple can add to me in any way, so I don't go. I don't even go to this one. I just created it for people. Once in a way, when something is happening, I go. Otherwise, I don't. So, some time ago when I was in Himalayas, I just went to this Uttarkashi temple. Oh my God, this lingam you must see. It is bursting with energy, 2,250 years old. It is like it was done yesterday. It is bursting with energy. You must just go there and see. Just the presence is so fantastic. Dhyana linga is also like that, but that is unidimensional linga, so it is more aggressive. This happens in a subtle way because it's multidimensional. It is much more subtle, but there it is very, very unidimensional and strong. In the last 2 days, I've had the opportunity of being in 2 different places. Of 2 different kinds, but the same intention, but 2 different kinds. I was at the Thanjavur temple, and yesterday I was also at the Gangaikonda, Cholapuram. All of you have seen both the places? Have you? No? So Thanjavur is a temple where externally they managed to build a magnificent temple of phenomenal beauty and proportion. 1,000 years ago, when there were no machines, there were no cranes, when there were no vehicles to transport huge rocks that were necessary to build this temple. All by the dint of man's effort. It's not a simple effort. If you want to understand what kind of effort, I'll give you a simple project. Now we're building the Adiyogi Alayam. So I want the rock which is in the Spanda hall to be shifted to the Adiyogi Alayam. I want you to do it, all of you together, no machines. You know the rock? Then you will understand what it is. Because that's what they did. They say the rock that was used to make the linga was brought from Saurashtra in Gujarat, from the banks of Narmada, weighing almost 250 tons of raw stone, crossing Vindhyachal. No trucks. I want you to just imagine what kind of people are these? What was in their heart to propel them into such an almost impossible acts? So after all that effort, they built a magnificent temple, but the core of the temple failed. They could not consecrate the linga as they wanted. It did not work. So even today, people believe misfortune will come upon them by going to this temple. You know, it's common knowledge, people think you will come to misfortune if you go to Thanjavur temple.
which is not wholly correct, but partially correct, because it's a kind of a distorted energy form. It did not find completion. So almost 42 years of work, and then the very heart of it failed upon them. So Rajaraja Cholan, who attempted this, the only intention of building such a magnificent structure is to see that generations of people will benefit, that it will leave an impact on people, that it will be an uplifting experience for generations of people to come. When it did not happen, I can imagine his distress and pain of that wasted effort, not just of the individual effort, but thousands and thousands of people would have worked for it. They would have emptied the state's coffers. Probably they fought battles to bring in the necessary resource, and in the end, did not find completion. So his son, probably wanting to bring some peace to his dead father, he built an exact replica of that temple, but he did not have the courage to attempt the same scale, probably for practical purposes. He brought down the size considerably, attempted similar thing, trying to do it in a much faster time span. So, making it into not so glorious work of art, but functionally as good. So the temple structure did not turn out as it should have. They piled up rock and built it. Structurally it's good, but in terms of aesthetics they could not match Thanjavur temple. But they managed to consecrate the linga. So one place where there is grandeur and beauty on the outside, but the inner core did not work. Another place, there is inner strength, but there is no grandeur and beauty on the outside. This has been the story of the world in many ways. Where there is outside well-being and affluence, inner emptiness, where there is inner strength and beauty, poverty and other kinds of things where the outside is not taken care of. A time has come in terms of where the world is, that in terms of the outside situations, we are capable like never before as human beings. We are capable of doing things which were unimaginable 100 years ago. Now that we have an external capability of this kind, it's extremely important that we don't become another Thanjavur as each individual. Outside beautiful, inside empty. As individual people, as societies, as nations, as humanity, we should not end up like this unfinished temple. And I was trying to go through the whole drama. In my mind, I was trying to go through the whole drama, what it would have taken for them to build this temple and how it would have felt to see it incomplete, and how much pain this young king, Rajaraja Cholan's son, must have borne to hurriedly try to put up another temple which is of similar design but of a much smaller scale, and trying to bring it alive. The whole drama, I try to play it in my head and it's quite a drama. It's it's life in its very, very large scale, enormous magnitude. People playing out their life in a very large scale scape, and the pain of not being able to fulfill that, and the longing and desire to fulfill that. A fulfillment which is not of the personal kind. It is seen as something that you have to do for the people around you. This is a struggle and a pain and the fulfillment that every human being who longs to create something of phenomenal proportions to happen in this world. Not everybody meets success, not everybody experiences the scale of failure that this great king might have experienced. So, at this juncture, where humanity is compelled to make decisions about scaling down their exterior, not because of their own consciousness, but because of ecological compulsions, a time has come when humanity has to scale down its outside grandeur substantially if they want to live for a long time. If we as a species, if we as a race have to exist on this planet for long enough, a time has come, we have to cut down our plans for the outside. So when such a time has come, it's best, because you cannot curb human aspirations in terms of wanting to do great things. So it's very important that we start rolling out grand plans for the interiority. Otherwise, a human being will feel trapped, that he cannot find expression to his creativity, he cannot find expression to his wanting to do something more than what he is right now. So it is definitely time to roll out plans, very mega-scale plans about the interiority of the human being. But even for that, we need some outside infrastructure, which we are trying to fulfill in the next coming couple of years, a year or two. And we want to roll out really grand plans for every human being as to what you can do within yourself. There are incredible things that one can do within himself, which can easily keep a human being busy for a lifetime. And if you do such incredible things, at least you will not have the problem of planning one more lifetime. Because if you do such incredible things, then existence will see that you have to cease. You're too much. We need lots of people right now at this juncture to stand up. It doesn't matter what you're capable of, what you're not capable of. All that it takes is, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not concerned about people's talent. We know how to manufacture talent. But that is possible only if you subject yourself without any will of your own to the process. We can make anything out of you. we have the necessary technology. So we are not really looking for talent. If you have talent, it's useful. If you don't have any, but if you have unwavering commitment or devotion, you're much more useful because now talent can be manufactured, anything can be built. If you have that one steady foundation in you, that your commitment and devotion does not waver, if that one foundation is there, we can build any kind of structure upon that. I'm looking forward to see a display of that kind of commitment and devotion in the coming few months, because we're looking at building things which will be of immense value to human life on this planet. But that cannot be done without the fundamental stability that the focus of your life does not change even for a moment. If it changes, it loosens everything. You cannot build a structure on a moving foundation. You can only build it on a stable foundation. I hope a lot of you or many of you will work towards that, to bring that stability within yourself, so that we can create and offer something of value to yourself and everybody around you.